What does it take to do good science? We think it takes 4 comedians in lab coats. Watch them try to make sense of complicated science they know nothing about by a mystery guest scientist they know even less about. Look at their faces. They are brave, they are cute, they are funny. What else do you want? This video is free.
Wow, I can't believe I discovered this.
After each round of guesswork, we turn to our scientist and ask,
Is that right?
and we all learn something cool. Or nothing at all.
I'm so excited.
Doing science right is overrated. In Is That Right?
Yes.
Let's begin the show.
Welcome to Is That Right? Have a seat, players. Well, tonight we will be learning the science of a particular scientist. So do you know how the game is played, players?
Yes.
But do you know what science we are going to talk about tonight?
No.
Because we don't know who the mystery scientist is. But we know a few things about them. Let's see it. Today's mystery scientist loves cookies and cream milkshake. Their favorite go-to milkshake is cookies and cream. Their favorite childhood toy was Lego. That's right, it was Lego. And finally, they once had a dream in which they heard clearly that cheese was, in an absolute sense, better than ham. Players, what do they study? Based on these factoids, make a clear theory and hypothesis about their field of interest. That's right, they will be following the proper scientific methodology to figure out what this scientist does. Let's start with the first player, Mary.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. Thank you, esteemed guests. Since we have someone here who is very, seems preoccupied with the culinary arts, right? The cheese and ham, as well as cookies and cream, and really sort of dividing things into their component parts. I believe that they are very interested in how food affects all creatures. So I believe they are an expert in animal cuisine preferences, which is a newer science, but it is taking hold.
That's right, that's right. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, Mary. Let's hear it from Don.
Well done.
Thank you.
Looking at this doctor's areas of expertise, cookies and cream milkshakes, delicious. Favorite childhood toy, Lego. We're certainly going to give them points on correct use of the word Lego. And of course that cheese is better than ham. It is very, very clear to me, with 100% accuracy, that this doctor is studying me as a 14-year-old boy.
That's right. Dawn Montreology is a new science. Thank you so much. Bobbi.
This doctor is obviously studying things that go extremely well together. They fit together. Cookies in cream. Legos fit together with each other. Ham and cheese, these are classic pairings. So, this doctor is obviously studying electrical engineering, or how plugs fit into sockets.
The science of electrical engineering. Thank you so much, Bobby and Jake.
The love of cookies and cream milkshake. Childish. Lego. A children's toy. The only one who these days can still have a dream is a child. Therefore, this person is a child. And so they study computer science.
Indeed, a universally juvenile field. Thank you so much, Jake. Well, let's thank the players for their beautiful hypotheses. Let's find out if that was correct or not. Say it with me, folks. Is
that right?
There's only one way to know. Let's bring on the guest scientists. They have been sitting among you this whole time. It's Dr. Matthew Hansen. answers once again. We will start with Mary.
Yes, of course. Animal cuisine preferences.
Animal cuisine preferences. Don.
Me as a 14-year-old boy.
That's great. It's something dropped.
My first answer.
And let's hear from
Electrical
Bobbi.
engineering, or how plugs fit into sockets.
And finally from Jake.
Now that I've met you, I won't take back what I said. Computer scientist.
Computer science. Well, let's figure out the correct answer. Dr. Matthew Hansen is a research scientist in the Department of Genetics at University of Pennsylvania, where he works in the lab of Professor Sarah Tishkoff, which is a lab focused on human population genetics in Africa. Matt grew up outside of Seattle, Washington, and went to Reed College in Portland, Oregon, where he studied math and physics and got a PhD in astrophysics at UC Santa Barbara in California. Since moving to Philadelphia in 2007, he switched scientific fields to biology. He's worked in labs at Temple and at UPenn, studying evolutionary biology of fruit flies, butterflies, and human. For the last 10 years, he has worked on human population genetics with Dr. Tishkoff. One fun fact, his wife is also a scientist. Is she with us? She's right over there. She's a professor of physics at Rutgers University in New Jersey, and they have one scientific publication together, along with one of her graduate students, while they were stuck at home in pandemic. Give it up for Dr. Hansen! For 5 whole points.
Yeah.
Which of these answers are the closest to genetics and biology?
I mean, it's probably not you as a 14-year-old boy. It's probably going to be computer science. It's going to be...
Oh, because of all the technical computations, that's right. That's 5 points to Jake. Let's get a scoring of Jake.
That's 5 points for Dr. Jake. Dr. Jake, 5 points.
That's right.
Score is Jake with 5, everybody else with a big 0.
We have learned about the larger field of study of Dr. Hansen over here, but we don't know what kind of problems they work on. They work on several different types of problems in big scientific teams. And one of those problems we will see in the form of a fill in the blank right now. People in industrialized societies like the US may have different blank in their bodies than those in non-industrialized societies. Players, you have 30 seconds to write your answer for this. Are you ready? Begin. Well, Dr. Hansen.
Yeah.
So I want to know more about that dream. So the cheese and ham, those are, people would say, different food groups. People wouldn't even compare 2 fruits like apples or oranges. But you went ahead and compared cheese with ham. Could you say a little bit more about that?
You know, I was in grad school.
Right. That's enough. Thank you so much. And that's time. Thank you so much. Players, have you written down the answers?
Yep.
Let's figure out the correct answer first. So people in industrialized societies like the US may have different gut microbiota in their bodies than those in non-industrialized societies. Players, did you get that right?
Yes.
Let's check that. Let's start with Mary.
Well, it's very, very close. I mean, I was thinking industrialized society as opposed to non-industrialized, industrial revolution, machines, parts, inner workings. So I went with organs. Industrialized have different organs than people in non-industrialized. And certainly gut microbiota happens in an organ.
That's right, it is in the gut, and gut is an organ. Thank you so much, Mary.
You're welcome.
Done.
Yes, well, we are an industrialized nation here in the United States. We are also a very suspicious nation here in the United States, which of course means that we all inside of us have microchips, which is exactly the same thing as the gut microbiota, because the word micro is in both words.
Excellent. Bobbi.
Well, I've I've traveled the world to industrialized countries, and the most industrialized countries are really polluted. And sometimes when you sneeze, it comes out a little gross. So I said, snot. They have different snot inside their bodies. In industrialized, comes out all polluted. You understand what I'm saying? So snot is just micro things in here, just moving up here. That's all. Just from here to here, it's no different.
That's right. All goo inside the body is the same.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Bobbi and Jake.
I think my favorite thing about doing this show is it doesn't matter how much time, no matter how many times I read it, it doesn't make a difference. So I panicked and I wrote cells. I think my case rests there.
Is there something else on
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. And so my defense is that bacteria are made of cells.
That is factually correct. Thank you so much, Jake. Let's thank the players.
Point of order, Dr. Pandey. Point of order. Isn't everything made of cells?
No, like objects.
Thank you. That was a test. Continue, Dr. Pandey.
Just for that, you will get 1 extra point in this
Thank
round.
you very much. Thank you.
Ding.
Dr. Hansen, for 5 points. Which of these answers, let's see them for the audience and Dr. Hansen and I, which of these answers would you say is the closest to gut microbiota? You have studied this, remember, for many, many years.
This is a tough call. I will say...
Oh, Bobby, sorry, your clipboard's still
If I could combine some of these,
Okay,
but
yeah.
I will go with snot.
Oh my God! That's 5 points.
Wow. All right, so that's 5 points there. That brings Bobbi with 5, Jake with 5, Don with 1.
Now that we have learned what the problem statement is that we are trying, Dr. Hansen has tried to understand the differences in gut microbiota and specifically in African societies and industrialized and non-industrialized societies. We want to understand what gut microbiota is, and for that we will move on to the next round, Podcast Shuffle. Please set the stage for Podcast Shuffle players. For this particular game, we will see a series of podcasts. So all of you must be familiar with some kind of podcast. You might be listening to them in your daily drive or while going back to sleep or to avoid people. But in podcasts, there's typically an interview, and we will start with a straightforward interview by Bobbi to understand gut microbiota from Dr. Hansen, the expert. After 3 minutes, Bobbi will become the new expert on gut microbiota, and we will get somebody from outside to host a podcast in the genre that we will get from you. They will have 2 minutes to understand gut microbiota, and they will then move on to become the expert. We will rotate through all of them until we reach the last player. Let's start getting some suggestions from you all. So let's start from right over here. What is the kind of podcast that you listen in the afternoon on a weekend? A relationship, yeah. So a relationship podcast. Let's go with that one. Relationship podcast. Let's ask this particular section over here. What is a podcast that you would definitely recommend to your friends, but not to your parents?
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories. Thank you. Conspiracy theories. Thank you so much. From this wonderful section right over here, what kind of podcasts do you listen when you're feeling down?
Advice.
What is it?
Advice.
Advice. What kind of advice would you say?
Just general advice.
Generic advice.
Wait, was that genetic or generic? General.
Generic.
Generic advice.
Generic advice.
It got less specific the more questions you asked. Interesting. Very interesting.
This section over here. What kind of podcast would you say you would have been recommended, but you would never listen to?
True crime.
True crime! That was a resounding true crime. True crime. And then if there were some other suggestions, let's get one more. Any kind of podcast.
Medical history.
What?
Medical history.
Medical history. Medical history. Medical history is a genre of podcasts. Well, we have all the suggestions right now. Thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause. All of these suggestions can nicely go into this particular hat. And these will be given out to the players who come out from outside to host a new podcast. But first, we will learn what is gut microbiota in a straightforward podcast hosted by Bobbi with Dr. Hansen. Bobbi, you have 3 minutes on the clock. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
And begin.
Welcome, everyone, to my podcast, Science, Science, Science. We have with us Dr. Hansen. Dr. Hansen, I've heard that gut microbiota is very similar to snot. I heard that somewhere. Can you clarify?
So the gut microbiota is actually a bunch of bacteria and other microbes that live in your intestines. And they're essential for how we digest food and for other aspects of our immune system.
Fascinating. So a microbe, is that different than microbiotic? Huh?
So microbiota is a term that kind of means the same thing.
I see.
As a microbe.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
And what exactly do they do in there? I eat a hamburger.
Right.
What happens to it?
Well, so a lot of it gets broken down by enzymes in your body, but not everything. And there's a lot of enzymes that only bacteria have that will break down the food that your body wouldn't otherwise process and absorb. So they can do essential things like provide vitamins that you otherwise wouldn't get, or
Ooh, I take vitamins in a capsule format. Is that bad for me?
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Depending on the dose.
So is there anything that we need to be careful about with gut microbiota?
Well, I mean, so we generally think that there can be like a dysbiosis, an unhealthy.
Dysbiosis.
It's a fancy.
That's a word I should know since I host a science podcast. But for our guests out there, what does that mean?
It just means a state where it's like somehow unhealthy for the organism that hosts the microbes.
Ah, okay.
So we're their hosts in this.
Like a party host?
Like a party host.
Okay,
So
great.
we supply the right kind of things, and
Like alcohol.
Like alcohol that does have a big impact on your gut microbiome.
Oh, it does.
Mm-hmm.
So what are there good things and bad things that we should be ingesting?
I mean, yes.
What would you recommend?
I mean, the typical like balanced, healthy diet, not processed foods is always good.
And in your research, what's the biggest, wow, I can't believe I discovered this?
As far as the gut microbiota, it was a complicated study, but we found that there was some people in Botswana, very rural farmers, that had gut microbiota.
And that's time!
Oh, thank you so much!
Bobbi, you are the new expert. Let's get one player from outside. Keep that applaud going for Jake. Jake, have a seat right over here. Jake, your name is Jake, and my name is
Dr. Pandey.
That's right. Perfect. There you go. Select anyone. All right. So you will be hosting a podcast in the style of
True crime.
To understand what is on the board, what is gut microbiota from our new expert, Bobbi Block. Bobbi and Jake, are you ready?
Yes.
And begin.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming to the True Crime Podcast. This is Blood Splatter, where we analyze blood splatters for things more than just DNA. I'm joined by my guest here, Dr. Block. Please, if you would, let's skip the introduction. What are gut microbiota? And why are they left at this
Wow,
crime
you're
scene?
going right into it. Just right into the question. All right. Well, when your guts splatter all over the place when you're at a crime scene, if you took
Well, it's not a crime scene yet.
if you took like a microscope or a magnifying glass and you stare right into all the guts that are spilled on the floor, you would find gut microbiota.
I sure would. Bobby, you've said a lot of words, but I don't know what the answer has been to my question. So I'm going to ask it again. What are gut microbiota?
They're the things in your guts that make sure that everything else is running A-OK. So if you eat something like a hoagie, and
Which we don't recommend, lots of fingerprints.
right, exactly. And the mystery meat goes into your body.
Sure.
Then the gut microbiota eats it up and turns it into things that we can use, like vitamins. There I go.
And
You
that's
don't
why
have
she's
to
an
take
expert.
them in capsule form. I know that. Especially if you live in Botswana,
Now we're talking.
apparently.
All right, so do you have to do anything to support your gut microbiota?
Oh,
Like, do you
yes.
need fiber, yogurt,
Healthy.
probiotics?
Oh, that sounds good. Do you have any yogurt?
We'll eat some after the break. Now get back to the podcast.
Okay.
And that's time! Let's get a new player inside. Keep the applause going for John Monte! Don, you are our new podcast host and you will be hosting a podcast in the genre of
Conspiracy theories.
to understand what is gut microbiota from our new expert, Jake. Jake and Don, are you ready?
Yes.
And begin.
All right, so tell me again, what is gut microbiota?
Yeah. Well, first I gotta start with what are they not? You know, because we grow up, right? Did you want to go to school? No, you're forced to, right? And then what do you gotta do? You gotta do middle school, you gotta do high school. So here's the thing about gut microbiota: they don't want to be there, but they're in your colon. Okay?
Dude, that is like so crazy, dude.
Well, get this. Not only are they there, but they're doing unpaid labor for you. Yeah. Because
Listen, I am totally against unpaid labor in
So
this
am I, so
country,
am I.
okay? All these unpaid microbiotics are coming into our country, all right?
think about it this way.
And they're getting into our systems, and they are taking away jobs from my own American microbiota.
And not only that, but who's benefiting? So these gut microbiota, they're eating things to produce vitamins, but not for themselves, for you, the 1%.
Dude, that's like...
Did you ever ask where did they come from? We don't know. They've just been there.
No, we know where they come from. They come from Mexico.
You said it, not me. You said it. Just going on the
No,
record. You said it.
dude,
No, I didn't.
I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
I'm just asking questions. I'm sorry. Do they come from Mexico?
But I don't know.
Say I'm just asking questions, dude.
The
I'm just asking questions.
research is specious. That's what I'm gonna say.
Dude, let me ask you this.
Okay, what?
How much can you bench?
And that's time! Mary, for 5 whole points, at the end of this podcast, you will have to explain what is gut microbiota.
I'm so excited.
And you will understand what is gut microbiota by hosting a podcast in the genre of
This is what came in my hand. Relationships.
relationship. So, Mary will be hosting a relationship podcast to understand what is gut microbiota from our new expert, Don. Don, Mary, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
And begin.
Welcome to Put Your Own Oxygen Mask On First. The podcast that explores relationships with others and with yourself. today we have a very special guest who is going to teach us much more about getting in touch with our insides, literally. We have Dr. Montre here. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us on the podcast. I was wondering, could you in your own words tell us what is gut microbiota?
Absolutely. It's not really a thing, it's more of a feeling.
I like that, very on brand.
It's feelings that are deep down inside of you, okay? And the amazing thing about gut microbiota is that
Biota?
biota.
I'm so sorry.
It's like
I should have asked.
It's like the nursing group.
Did you say it's like the nursing poop?
No, group. Group. Nursing poop. I could do a whole hour on nursing poop.
Gut?
But that's not what we're talking about. But ironically, gut microbiota does lead to poop.
It's
It does.
a very different podcast, but okay.
It's very different podcast. But the point being is that the gut microbiota inside of you, it's there like a hug. Okay? It's like hugging your cells. Did you know that cells do not make up everything?
I did know that. Actually, most people do.
I must have missed that day in relationship school. But
So you're saying gut microbiota is like a hug on the inside that is a deep feeling that eventually reminds you to poop?
Exactly.
That's right! Thank you! That's time! Unfortunately, that is time. Let's put the seats back. And Mary, assume your position in front and center. You will be explaining what is gut microbiota for 5 whole points for the audience and for Dr. Hansen. Dr. Hansen, at the end of this, you will have to grade them on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 means they got it exactly right. 1 means good try. All right, Mary.
I apologize. So gut microbiota, from what I understand, is deep down inside, I'm assuming the gut, so probably something that has to do with the stomach or the intestines, and they create sensations that remind the gut to comfort. They actually sort of take the foods and the things that are in your stomach, and they sort of make things feel all right down there, and ease the process that is then happens in the bathroom.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Mary. Say it with me, folks. Is that right? Dr. Hansen, on a scale of 1 to 5.
I'm going to give that a 3.
All right, that was a very generous score delivery by the good Dr. Hansen. Bringing our score, Mary with 3, Don with 1, Bobbi with 5, Jake with 5, our 2 tied leaders. Back to you, Dr. Pandey.
Thank you so much, Dave. We have understood what gut microbiota is, and we have understood why we are trying to study them, but we haven't totally understood how Dr. Hansen and their team actually conduct their studies and what kind of methods they use. So let's check that out in another fill-in-the-blank statement. Dr. Hansen and team compared the blank from the blank of people in rural Tanzania and Botswana with those of people in Philly, meaning that they compared the blank from the blank from people in rural Tanzania and Botswana with those of people in Philly. What was it? Players, you have 30 seconds to fill in both the blanks, and your time starts now. Firstly, I'm so sorry. There were many different feelings about what gut microbiota is.
Yeah.
That's right. Can you tell me, like, you were dreaming about cheese and ham? You are studying gut microbiota. What got you into this? Because you were studying astrophysics and then now you're here.
That's a big question for me. So
we will explore that later. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Hansen. Well, let's figure out the correct answer for the method statement first, and then we will find out what our players wrote. Dr. Hansen and team compared the bacterial DNA from the fecal matter of people in rural Tanzania and Botswana with those from people in Philly. Players, did you get that right?
Yes!
Let's find out. Let's find out, starting with Mary.
Well, I've been born and raised in Philadelphia, so I wanted to make sure, like, I felt like that was going to be like the ground zero of this study. So I said that the team compared the cheesesteaks from the breath of the people, because they can leave an odor, and that's sometimes reflective of what's in the gut. There we did it!
Yes! Thank you so much, Mary. Done.
This may come as a surprise to you all, but Dr. Carpenter and I actually worked on a study together. So we came to the same conclusions. Being that we are both from Philly, all right, yeah. So I said cheesesteak toppings and drunk people. Which I think is pretty darn close, because fecal matter and drunk people both smell. That's it.
Factually correct. Jake.
All right. You ever buy things at the grocery? You ever buy those veggies? And then trash day comes around, you're thinking, I did it again. I didn't eat them, and now they're wasted. So it's important in order to know what's in the gut, what went into the mouth. So I said, the food eaten from the grocery list.
Oh.
Because these are never the same thing.
Thank you so much, Jake. Have a seat. And Bobbi.
Dr. Jake and I also
Dr. Lucas.
Dr. Lucas, I'm sorry. First, we're on a first name
Well, we
basis.
worked on this study, so we're first name.
Yeah.
I see.
We work together. So we have similar thinking patterns.
Purely professional.
And so, of course, my answer is correct because I have the layman's term of one of those terms. I'm just going to say it. It's the Instacart checkout cart list from the poop. Which is very similar from the food eaten to the grocery list, except in reverse order. So I say we win.
Well, let's turn to Dr. Hansen. Let's see those answers again for the audience and Dr. Hansen alike. Dr. Hansen, which of these answers is closest to bacterial DNA and fecal matter?
I mean, again, we're kind of splitting.
Bacteria in cheese.
They don't have to be accurate, just closest.
Yeah, and close is the term maybe from your prior field of study of astrophysics, maybe, as opposed to close here. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Also, doctor, I only have 1 point.
Reasons for that. I'll go with the one with the poo.
With the one That's 5 points.
5 points to Bobbi. All right, you want to get a little scoring update here?
Let's do a scoring update.
Absolutely. So we've already established Don has 1, Mary with 3, Bobbi with 10, Jake with 5. Bobbi's the shit. Back to you.
All right, Bobbi is in the lead. Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you so much, Dave, for that scoring update. Now that we have understood the method, that we have understood what gut microbiota is and what the problem statement is, we now need to know what Dr. Hansen was hinting at the end of that podcast. What did they actually find? So we will see a finding statement, but not so easy. It could be the true finding statement, or it could be a misconception or a misinformation version of it. Others call it a true or false. And each player will have 1 minute, 60 seconds to interrogate Dr. Hansen to find out if that statement is actually the right finding or not. Let's set the stage for Dr. Hansen. Dr. Hansen, welcome to the stage again. Now let's see the statement. None of the traditional farmers from either Botswana or Tanzania had gut microbiome compositions like those observed in Philly people. None of the traditional farmers from either Botswana or Tanzania had gut microbiome compositions like those found in people from our very own lovely city, Philadelphia. We will go down the line from that and from Bobbi, and we will give each player 1 minute to interrogate the scientist to figure out if that statement is truly the true finding or not. Bobbi, are you ready?
Yeah. Yes.
You have 1 minute on the clock and begin.
So, doctor, pretzels and mustard. This is something that happens only in Philly. I don't believe it happens in Botswana or Tanzania. Can you or can you not state that pretzels and mustard happen in those countries?
I cannot state that one way or the other. I'm going to say probably, possibly.
Tricky. Well, then, would you say that they don't eat any of the same food that we eat in Philadelphia? Would you say that?
No.
You wouldn't say that. Describe the food that they eat in these other countries.
So we're talking about like subsistence farmers, rural farmers. So these are not people living in a big city. So they're growing their own food, they're raising their own animals and livestock.
I have a rat.
And that's time! That's time! Thank you, Bobbi. Jake, you have 1 minute, and your time starts now.
I want to first apologize for what you just had to endure. This should hopefully be nice and smooth and easy. Is this true or false?
No, you cannot ask that. You cannot ask that.
Hey, at least I tried. Is this correct?
No, you cannot do that either.
Okay. All right.
Any synonymous version of that question does not work.
How is your day going?
Good.
Okay. None. There's not one person.
So we looked at probably like 50 or 60 people.
That's just not enough. So between those 50 and 60 people, would they say this was true or not true?
And that's time! That's time! Thank you so much, Jake. All right. Don, you have 1 minute on the clock and begin.
Doctor. What is not made of cells?
I mean, mostly like your phone.
Interesting. Okay, so when you say cells, you are talking about organic matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Thank you. And
It's literally called a cell phone.
That's right. Dave, give yourself 1 point.
Hey!
Thank you. And Mary, you have 1 minute on the clock.
Okay.
Begin.
I'm not funny, I'm curious. So, Tanzania had gut microbes like those observed in Philly. Did they have any in common at all?
Yes.
They did have some in common, but more uncommon. more uncommon.
That is asking the answer to that question.
I apologize. Okay, and observed in Philly people. Now, when you say observed, were you like, did you put Philly people in a zoo, or were you like, you were just like, oh, I think they're gonna poop, and I'll take a look? So they both went through the same. You did the same test on both populations.
They were both sampled in similar ways.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. And did you feed cheesesteaks to the people in Botswana?
We did not.
Okay.
No.
Good choice, good choice. Now they're going to be our friends. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. And when you say compositions, are you talking about essays?
We're talking about like the relative amounts of different kinds of bacteria.
Relative amounts. So that's why.
Or just the amounts of.
The amounts. Yeah. Numbers. Great. I like numbers.
Yeah, that's time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, players, I hope you have made up your minds about whether you think this is the true finding or a misconception, a misrepresentation of the finding. So let's hear it from that side, from Bobbi, whether you think it is a true finding or not.
True finding.
Great. Jake, what do you think?
I think this is false.
Okay, and what about Don?
I concur with Dr. Lucas. False.
Okay, and what about Mary?
I think it's true.
We have an equal split.
It's a sandwich.
All right, Dr. Hansen, let's find out if that's right or not. It's a false statement. Let's see the true statement first. That's right. Half of the farmers from Botswana, but none from Tanzania, had gut microbiota very similar to those observed in Philly people. That's a true finding. Thank you so much, Dr. Hansen. We have learned what the problem statement is. We have learned what gut microbiota is. We have learned what the methods are. We have learned what the finding is. But we have clowned around enough. Let's learn about the topic from the horse's mouth. Let's learn it from Dr. Hansen in the next segment. Conference talk by Dr. Hansen. Players, get a seat in the audience.
So I work in a lab, so I'm a research scientist, staff scientist in the Tishkoff lab at UPenn. That's the lab as of a few months ago. And the focus of the lab is studying African populations using modern genetic tools. And studying the microbiome is one of the things that we do. So the lab does a lot of different things. This is just like one of them. So why are we studying African populations at all? Well, a couple of reasons. One, there's humans originated in Africa, which has all kinds of ramifications. So it's a very genetically diverse continent of people. About 50,000, 60,000 years ago, a group of them migrated out and spread across the rest of the world. But the origins were in Africa. So the next slide. So in biomedical research, most of the research is still done in European ancestry individuals. So, and this also has ramifications in terms of equity for things that we're learning about the genetics of people and how that influences the medicines we produce. So as of a few years ago, this is one type of modern genetics study, only about 10% of the people included in the studies were of recent African ancestry. So we're one of the labs that is trying to kind of, get past that, sort of include more people in modern research. Next topic. So the rationale for this project, so as we've all learned, the gut microbiome is a bunch of bacteria that live in our gut, and it does all kinds of essential things for our body and for our health. And we first, as a field of studying the gut microbiome, it's not that old, probably in the mid-aughts is when a lot of the major studies started looking at this and using DNA to study what actually is in our microbiome. Next slide. And one of the early findings was that it was very clear that the gut microbiome differed depending on the kind of society that people were sampled from, and that in urban Western countries, that the microbiome was much less diverse. There's much fewer different kinds of bacteria that inhabit the gut, compared to when you look at people that were living in more traditional societies where they're growing their own food or living off the land, much more diverse kinds of bacteria that live in their intestines. And so there's a lot of effort to try and understand why this might be the case. Next slide. So as a lab that studies different kinds of mostly rural African groups, we were well positioned to go to different kinds of places where we had groups that were foragers, they're literally hunting and gathering and living off of the landscape, versus people that are farmers, settled, raising their own crops, and then pastoralists, so these are groups that are they have sort of a cattle-based economy. And so one question that we could address was whether or not we see differences amongst these different kinds of traditional dietary types. Next slide. So for the study that was kind of the basis of tonight, it was a study that some members of the lab went to Tanzania and Botswana. They were there for about 4 months. This is like an off-grid science, so they have basically a mobile clinic that Dr. Tishkoff has sort of figured out protocols and had to actually do this. It's very challenging work. This is why not many groups in the world really do this kind of work. And so they went out for 4 months. They went to the places. They recruit participants, and they take stool samples and other kinds of blood draws, and then that gets shipped back to Penn, where we do some of the analysis using the modern tools. Next slide. So this is definitely kind of science that is very interdisciplinary. I'm not trained as a microbiologist, but we at Penn we collaborated with Rick Bushman, who is a head of the microbiology lab. This work was done, led mainly by Megan Rubel and myself. So she was a former graduate student in the Tishkoff lab. And then we have partners at universities and the different places that we go to who help us do this kind of research. Anyway, so it's a very interdisciplinary kind of work. And it's sort of a long process. This project, from start to finish, took a good 7 years probably. Wow. Yeah, and so I played a bit at the end, but I didn't go to the field. I'm more of a computer science person by nature, so I didn't touch the samples. That would be bad. But so anyway, so it takes all kinds of people just to do this kind of work. Next slide. So this, we don't know. So there was a group of farmers. So these are all rural groups, but none of them are living in towns. So we were not expecting this. Just based on previous studies, we figured that we wouldn't see any gut microbiome. The gut microbiome sort of falls into different types, roughly speaking, and there's sort of a type that's associated with processed foods and high fat, high protein diets that we have more in the West, versus diets that are high in fiber and much more plant-based. That tends to have a different type of community of bacteria that like that. But what we found in certain people in Botswana, these were farmers, they had profiles, I won't go into the details, but that looked kind of, you just looked at it, you couldn't tell if it was from Botswana or Philadelphia. You could tell there's thousands of different kinds of bacteria, but there's maybe only a handful that are really common and predominant. So you could tell if you looked at the really rare guys, those tend to be very different in different places. But for some reason, these guys had bacteria that kind of looked like people that we had sampled here in Philadelphia, and it wasn't due to sex, it wasn't correlated with their weight, or we couldn't find a good answer. So this was still kind of unresolved sort of mystery that we weren't quite sure of. Next slide. So our work is kind of building on the general trends that other people have seen, which is that, this shift towards like different kinds of diets really does impact the kinds of bacteria that like to live in your gut and that like to eat that kind of food. And so at some point in human history, as our ancestors at one point were all hunting and gathering, and then at some point they were all like rural farmers or like small, holding cattle, pastoralists. So our gut microbiome has been sort of evolving and changing as the societies change sort of their dietary practices. And so, so it's definitely something that seems to have occurred, and we're still sort of, as a field, trying to understand what that means, if it means, what are the ramifications of that. Like, that's still something that, is under active research. So, that's it.
Presentation, and definitely did a better job than all of us could in dealing with these questions. Let's open up the floor for some questions that we can ask Dr. Hansen. So do we have any questions? Yes.
In your slide, you had lipids versus carbohydrates versus alcohol. What's a lipid?
Lipids are fat.
So it's fat. Would fat be a reasonable replacement for lipid?
Yeah. So I mean, a kind of fat. So.
Another question? Yes.
Are probiotics total BS if you're eating the same diet as someone else?
I mean, I would say not total BS. No. I mean,
mostly. Like what percentage are we talking?
We're talking maybe like 30% BS. Like this is all like it's an emerging, like we're learning all kinds of new stuff, and so people tend to want to like hype up like something that just sounds good. But.
Yeah, a question. Yes.
I have a comment, not a question.
Oh, all right, that's the last game of the show. I have a comment, not a question. Right, have you been to a scientific conference? Of course you have. Over there, whenever you have a conference talk, right after that in the Q&A section, people put forth comments, not questions. It's obnoxious, and we all love it. That's exactly what we are going to emulate here in the true scientific session. Players will put forth comments, not questions, about the talk that we just saw from Dr. Hansen, and they will interrupt each other with a comment, not a question, for until 4 minutes, and whoever is the last person standing on stage at the mark of 4 minutes will win 5 more points. This game could go in any direction. I say that with no knowledge of what the scoring board is, but we will find that out. Well,
not having knowledge has kind of been the par for the evening, so we're good.
Give yourself another point, Dave. Well, Mary, you had a question?
No, I have a comment, not a question.
All right, begin.
So, Dr. Hansen, you had explained earlier that you were not actually studying Don as a 14-year-old boy, yet it's very clearly seen on the slides that the types of foods that people were eating here in the West were pizza, donuts, and hamburgers. And that is definitely the diet that I know Don was eating at the time. And for sure, my boys, who are both now no longer teenagers, but both still eat that, and I'm proud to say that I fed them most of it. So I think there is a correlation between...
I have a comment, not a question. Even though that talk was delightful and we all learned a lot and we won't ever forget it, I need to know about Bobbi's rat. I'm gonna cede the floor, Bobbi. If you would, please talk about your rat.
I have a comment, not a question. Now, there is a theory out there that lipids are a kind of fat. This is totally groundbreaking theory. I don't know if anyone has heard of it. It's like the cell theory, where everything is made of cells. Come on.
I have a comment, not a question.
Oh, please.
I would prefer to say that I am not carrying extra fat, I'm carrying extra lipids. It just sounds more poetic It just sounds better, and I think we should all embrace that.
I have a comment, not a question. I think I'm going to open a lipid store on Etsy. That way I can say, you could wear my lipids around town. We could have...
I have a comment on it.
Go ahead.
I love you, Don. I don't want to wear your lipids. I don't know what they look like. I don't know where they've been.
I have a comment, not a question. Raise your hand if you suffer from tummy aches. I see you. I was hoping at some point in this presentation we might have found a solution, but it turns out no matter where you are, it might just be who you are.
I have a comment, not a question.
Please be about the rat.
My rat
Yes!
lives in my house. But it's not my rat. It's Philly's rat.
I have a comment, not a question.
Go for it.
I love you, Bobbi, but I'm disappointed. I thought your rat was like a pet. I thought your rat was a sort of fellow traveler on your microbiota, gut microbiota. You get it.
I have a comment, not a question.
You have 1 more minute.
Okay. I'm going to open a Bobby's Rat store on Etsy. You can carry Bobby's a rat around when you're going about town. Also,
I have a comment, not a question. Philadelphia is a city. In fact, it's the 6th largest city. We all noticed Don said town. Maybe we didn't notice that.
So back to the lipid thing. So it feels sort of like it's a lily pad. Maybe it's sort of like a scalloped skirt type of thing.
I have a comment, not a question.
Fat.
It's a lipid pad.
And that's time! That's time! Do we have the score with us, Dave?
Absolutely, it's
That's
right
great.
with us on my pad. Make a drum roll on your laps, please. I'll do it from in the order the order of the losers. I'm in last place with 2 points. But considering I wasn't in the show, I think that's pretty good. Mary got 3, and Bobby and Jake tied for 10, but Don is the winner with 11!
Don is the winner for tonight. Don, a speech!
Thank you. I think we all learned a lot here this evening, especially me. We learned about cells, we learned about poop, and we learned that we were supposed to have a mortarboard, but instead we have this hat. Thank you all very much. I want to say thank you all to all of you. I want to say thank you to Dr. Hansen for coming out here tonight and for teaching us all of this amazing research. And thank you very much, Dr. Pandey.
And as a gift for you, we have a cookies and cream milkshake.